What's going on, everybody? TheAireaidLord's here. This is, as you saw with that mashup, 7 years of YouTube. 7 years of being on YouTube. This is a 7-year channel anniversary. In December 27th of 2010, I pointed my webcam at my television, hit record, and very lazily bumbled through a 15-18 minute video of me going over how to acquire the Desmond Miles skin, a unique skin for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood once you had beaten the game. And I had loved Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I wanted to show people the tutorial. I knew when I opened that YouTube channel that I wanted to do something in particular on it. And I'll kind of go through the history of like how the channel exactly started, because I've given accounts of this before, and for me, I've always started in certain places, but I guess I should start in a more specific starting point. So after my initial drink here, I started my channel in 2010. And again, a lot of you guys who are watching this video are probably Walking Dead enthusiasts, people who found my channel from The Walking Dead, because that's been the main focus of my channel as of, I don't know, late 2015, because I did review vlogs for The Walking Dead, but it wasn't until I started doing the full episode reaction videos that people really started to get into my content, and then I would have the vlogs and prediction videos that would come in between the period of time when the episodes were or were not airing, and so then my channel just kind of took over with that. I still did gaming stuff, but it was mainly Walking Dead. So many of you watching this video are probably people who are fans of The Walking Dead and have liked me doing full reaction videos of all of Season 6, all of Season 7, and now I've done half of Season 8. And, how many is that? 16, 32, that's 40. 40 reaction videos, not counting, trailer reaction videos and other things. That's 40 episodes that I reacted to with you guys. And it's been a great experience. And I started this channel mainly for video gaming. I was a sophomore in high school in 2010. I was only 15, 16 years old. And at the time, I was very lonely. I didn't have many friends back then. And, for me, high school was a very difficult period in my life that I'm sure a lot of people can say that was true for them as well. Mainly, it was a lot of focus on sports where I went to high school, like a lot of focus, and there was just drama for all the wrong reasons. And for me, I didn't find a core group of people who kind of had my interest, and the people that did had a very negative outlook on life and ventured into areas that I was never comfortable venturing into, such as experimenting with certain illegal substances. That I just, because of my upbringings and personal beliefs, I just never felt comfortable getting into. For me, the YouTube channel was very therapeutic because I was a huge fan of video gaming and had been for a long period of time. And, my first video game, my PlayStation 2 is right there behind where I'm filming this. My PlayStation 2 was really my first console. I had played the PlayStation 1 around that same time. But Jak and Daxter on the PlayStation 2 was really my first console video game. I had played PC gaming before that, but in my mind, I always envisioned Jak and Daxter being the first. I think it's actually in this bin somewhere here. Yep, it is in this bin. And I will get it for you guys. Right here. Actually the first game. If you remember this. So this was purchased in 2001, and you can tell because you know how some of the games have like greatest hits on it? Actually, I can show you. So comparing it to Ratchet and Clank on this box, greatest hits. This is the original. This was original game that was bought close to release, and it was one of the first games that I ever experienced. The PlayStation 2 was actually kind of like a Valentine's Day gift from my mom to my dad, and then because me and my siblings were young, we played with it, and my video gaming for me as a hobby and just as a form of entertainment, because deep down for me, I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories, and the PlayStation 2 and just video gaming in general, I could pick up the controller and then transport myself into a fantasy world and feel like I am that character. And any stories and things that are going on, if the character in the game dies or gets hurt by an enemy, weird as it is, it was as kids escaping into this world, and the more you're immersed in it, the more games you play feeling like you're really in it, that you're really experiencing these things. And when you experience an epic story that has twists and turns and changes your outlook on things, like, you could become even more attached. And I was really attached to gaming, just the industry as a hobby, just everything about it. And I had been inspired, in 2008, 2009, I had watched a YouTuber who has a lot of controversy surrounding him now, but back then he was, I guess he says this often, but in a way it's true, that he was one of the pioneers of YouTube Let's Plays on YouTube, YouTuber by the name of TheAireaidLord's. I'm sure many of you have seen, if you're long time fans of mine who have watched my gaming stuff from way back, I've done many co-op playthroughs with him, a whole bunch of Black Ops Zombies, for Treyarch Zombies I've done with him. That was kind of our first co-op content that we did in 2011. I did Borderlands 2 playthrough with him. We were Halo 4. We did more content back in 2012. I think that was when we did a lot of our content, and that was when I was really heavy into covering games. I did playthroughs of almost every single major game that came out in 2012, just because at the time, spamming YouTube with mass amounts of videos, and videos that weren't even really high quality. It was camera on a TV screen. And for some reason back then, the landscape of YouTube ad revenue was different. And the way that you raise your hand and say that you're here, for some people, was to spam YouTube with videos. So, because, and I will admit, DarkSidePhil did it, and so in a way I was kind of copying his strategy of how he uploaded videos. And I would make videos, updates, when people attacked me, saying that I was a copycat, and I would deny it, but deep down, it was kind of true. The formula that I was following was very much his formula. And then when I wasn't getting results, he wasn't getting results, and I took changes in my channel way before him. His channel went down a whole different route, but that's mainly because that was his full-time job. DarkSidePhil's YouTube Let's Play business was a job for him. He lost his full-time job in 2010 and made YouTube his living with ad revenue. I never did that because I was a student. I was a high school and college student while I was involved with my YouTube channel. And so when my channel started to falter in viewership when I was just doing video game stuff from 2012 to 2013, it wasn't a big deal because I had already accepted to go to an undergraduate institution, a private college, and I really didn't need YouTube. I didn't really need to be so reliant on it. And the thing is, I kind of still was. I was kind of holding on to YouTube. I remember it didn't help that GTA 5 came out 2 weeks into my first semester of college. I had been waiting for that game forever, and it kind of hijacked a lot of my time, either social or academic. And, you can see on my channel, I had a full freaking playthrough of GTA 5, and I probably shouldn't have. And it was an incorrect decision of mine, and really, I kind of found, and this is the reason why the channel evolved with The Walking Dead, because I started to branch out into other forms of entertainment instead of just being always involved with the gaming, communal stuff like watching a TV show. That's why I got into shows, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, all those shows I had never watched before college. When I got into college, just as I explored the physical atmosphere of my undergraduate institution with other students my age, I did that as well with entertainment in the medium of television-based programming. And The Walking Dead was the one that I just loved it. I love the theme of survival because I always thought that it crossed over into reality. I always thought that The Walking Dead, as an average person goes through their life trying to survive the 9-to-5 job or whatever they do, supporting their family, it's a means of survival in a way. I mean, we're all surviving. I know we're living in a civilized civilization in the 21st century, but we're all in a mode of survival. And I saw that The Walking Dead was almost not politically commentating on it, but commenting on the struggle for survival, because the show was about how characters mentally develop in a world that's infested by zombies. And I always thought that the mental psychosis always kind of trickled into everyday life. And obviously the writer, Scott Gimple, and the other people involved with the creative process understood that. And so I appreciated that, and I still appreciate that. That's why I'm still watching the show every Sunday. I'm not dropping out like a lot of people have been doing recently. That's a different topic for another day. But, that's why I started to do those reviews of The Walking Dead. And then when I saw reaction videos were kind of picking up, that's why I was like, hey, I should try these reaction videos. And admittedly, the reason I do the full reactions, like the full episode, it's not because I'm trying to monetize on the fact that I have the full episode. It's really because the editing for it takes way, way too long. If you see other people on YouTube who are big into reactions, like the Normies, Blind Wave, they're all good at what they do. Their channels are mainly for reactions, and they react to a ton of other series. I just do The Walking Dead, but they do Rick and Morty, Stranger Things. They do a whole bunch of other series out there. And, I tried to branch out. I did the full season of Game of Thrones Season 7 on my channel this past summer. And, the reaction was mixed. The viewership that I got was nowhere near what I got for The Walking Dead, because, again, my fans were accustomed for 2 seasons, Season 6 and 7, to seeing Walking Dead stuff. So then, me thinking, okay, it's just another drama television show, they actually kind of pushed back when I put out Game of Thrones, and it was hit or miss. I mean, for me, I was going to watch the program anyway, and so to not document it, I was like, well, I have the equipment, I do this for Walking Dead, why not do it for Game of Thrones? So those were some of the reasons why I made the decisions for my channel over the year. And again, everything truly did start from being in a position of isolation. And I know a lot of YouTubers probably come into YouTube for similar reasons. That there's something weighing them down, or they just want to convey thoughts of some sort. They come home after work and they're just bored and they want to throw up a YouTube video. And, you see a lot of these people who hit fame, Markiplier, PewDiePie. These are people who, they never threw up these videos to become super popular. They just wanted to share a piece of gameplay or their commentary. And when they saw that people appreciated them, because they weren't necessarily probably being appreciated in their everyday life, and to have appreciation from total strangers on the internet, it's weird, because you would never feel that appreciation if it was a random stranger in real life. It would be weird, but for the internet, you just feel that there's infinite numbers of people that you can connect to, and to see wordings of comments from people that are saying to you, I like your content, I like you, I am affected, you're doing great work. It affects you. It really does. And it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel motivated to do more. And that's what I've done and other YouTubers have done. And, like I said, my positioning from this channel came from isolation. Sophomore year sucked of high school. And sophomore year of high school sucked. And I had come off of freshman year being really, really interested in this particular girl. And when it didn't work out, it was a kind of slap to the face, because I had gone into high school using that as my momentum. And that was really my first mistake. Using, especially a girl who at that age, we're all so immature that we're not putting enough reliance on ourselves. We're not as confident and comfortable with ourselves. So we need large groups of friends, large groups of people, social power. We need these things so that we can fight the demons in our head that are saying you're not good enough. And so people go to malicious areas, and the verisimilitude of the whole thing, it gets skewed. it gets skewed, and I always tried to stay true to myself with everything I did. At the time, I was in 2010, that year that I made the YouTube channel earlier, I actually got my black belt in Taekwondo, it's a martial art that I've done for many years. And that earlier that year, that was a major accomplishment in my life. I had spent many, many years building towards that, and I hit that milestone, which was incredible. It was incredible for me because originally I had done it when I was young, almost got my black belt. My family moved, and then I had to start up again at a new studio, unsure of when exactly I would get it, and then I finally did in 2010, and it was great. It was great. It was a great confidence booster, but again, I was putting too much of my reliance and happiness on other things, other people. There were many vlogs. Even if I go back into the history of my channel, there are so many vlogs where I'm complaining there's something that's bothering me, and it's because it's someone who I feel that didn't do something enough for me, or there's some problem with something that I want. Maybe I didn't get enough views on a video, maybe I didn't make enough money on a video that I needed to pay for something. Again, the money that I made off of YouTube it went for just games that I would buy. Again, it was no income. It wasn't the income of someone like Darkside Phil or any of these big YouTubers. It was always just a little side money just to buy a few games every now and then. So again, it was a personalized approach that I took to the channel, and I was always trying to, for me, be honest in my content, but at the same time, there were things that were holding me back. And again, every year was different. Every year, it's funny because this channel is now an archive. This YouTube channel is an archive of my life for 7 years. You go through each year and you see what stage I was at. 2011, I'm a junior in high school. 2012, I'm a senior in high school. 2013, 2014, I'm in college. You see new people like, Jack, who's been in many of my videos. He was my roommate in college. The other guys, Pete, Jared, they were other college people, roommates, people that I met. And so much of that content, you must have seen, there were random videos that I made over the course of 2014, 2015, 2016. It was just random co-op stuff. And it was because it was a way of taking my hobby with YouTube and gaming that had a positive impact on me, and then merging it with a chance for me to break out in my life and not be rigidly into YouTube, always making videos. Because again, I said that in 2012, 2013, I was making videos all the time, playing every single game. And then I got to college and I was like, whoa, I gotta slow down. I told you about the GTA thing. That was a mistake to do a full playthrough. I should have been looking for more co-op games to do it with other people and try to say, hey, I have this hobby. Let's hang out together, whatever. You can see what I do on my channel, blah, blah, blah. There were endless things, endless possibilities that I could have done for that. And I did eventually. But again, it was all a learning process for me. And as I was saying, me placing my happiness on things from all the way from high school and onwards that didn't reciprocate the happiness, and then I felt slighted and I didn't know how to move on. And sometimes I would voice it on the YouTube channel, and how the YouTube channel started was because of some of those actions, just feeling lonely, and it was like a chance to vent. It's like vent, get your feelings out and feel appreciated, wanting to when I first built this YouTube channel, I wanted to build an audience. I wanted to build an audience that would watch my stuff. And so for me, when I uploaded those first Desmond Miles Assassin's Creed videos, it was, just I was like, when are people going to comment? Are they going to comment? I want to see some comments. I want people to, show me feedback. And there was one guy, I remember his name, his username was Ezio something. And he commented, thanks, dude. And it was just really quick. He appreciated the tutorial, but I was right on top of that message. Just really thanking him. And again, the YouTube landscape was so different back then. So it was a lot better, a lot different for me to be interacting with someone back then. And that was really the time to grow. And my channel grew mainly because of collaborations. It was two things. The collaborations I did with Darkside Phil, because at the time he had over 100,000 subscribers and a really big, successful audience. So when we did co-op content, a lot of those viewers came over to my channel. I've gone to, personal conventions, and some of those I went to with him, where I met him in person and we, sold merchandise, promoted different things for YouTube. There are many conventions. MagFest was in 2012. I remember Too Many Games was in 2012. Kineticon was in 2011. E3 right here. This is my pass for E3 2013, which is the biggest gaming conference in the world. I went the year of 2013 when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were first being unveiled. Though that's just one of the many things that being on YouTube has given me and the heights that I've risen to, ultimately. And again, 7 years is a long time to sum everything up. I know I've jumped around. I've jumped around from Darkside Phil to Walking Dead to being in high school and wanting to start the channel. All the games and playthroughs I did in 2012. It's hard because I'm trying to talk about one era in particular and then link them all together. But the truth of the matter is, nowadays having, because I graduated college earlier this year. You guys must have seen that video where I talked about that. And since then, and this is something I didn't talk about on my YouTube channel. I don't think I did. I had a full-time job when I graduated college. When I first graduated in May of 2017, I knew coming out that I would have a job. And I worked that job from the beginning of June to the end of July. And at the end of July, I received word that I would be basically laid off from the company. Now, the details and specifics aren't important, but for me to have gone through, the 4 interviews and all the effort that I went to get the position in the first place, it was kind of crushing. And one of the reasons is because the job deals with marketing. Like my job now, it deals with marketing social media stuff. And how do you think that started? When I had my first internship in 2014, I used my YouTube channel as a resume boosting prospect. I said to the manager at the time, I was like, I've built this audience and I know the landscape of online gaming and certain stuff, and that was why I was hired for that particular internship. They were looking to sell a certain app and it was along the lines of gaming and they wanted my expertise. And so it was a great first kind of internship to break into the real work world so that I could get future positions and eventually this full-time job. And so to be laid off from it, even though it was, inner corporate fighting and had nothing really to do with me, it still stung and it still sucked because I had been planning to get an apartment with a couple of my friends later that year, and suddenly I don't have the income or the means to pay for it. And so it was kind of a low moment. And then I spent the next 2 months looking for a new position, and I finally found one with a company that was 10 times better than the one that I left. And now I'm still there, have been there for 2.5 months, and I love it. It's keeping me on top of social media and marketing trends far more than I was at any of my previous positions. And at the same time, I'm getting to work on the things that I love to do the most, and the thing that I love to do the most. And when I say thing, there's one specific thing, and again, I don't talk about it too much on this YouTube channel. I've alluded it a couple of times. But because this channel has always been either Walking Dead or video games, I've never seen a reason to bring it up. And the ironic thing is that my username, TheAireaidLord, is a direct reference to what I'm talking about, and it's the fact that I am a writer. I'm an author. I write books, novels, mainly for young adults. And for me, that's my passion. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Some people, it takes them their time through high school to decide what they want to do, and they focus in on a specific major, go to college, and then work on that. Some people go in undecided into college, and they don't know. They need to use the introductory courses of college to explore avenues that might be best for them. Me, I knew since I was 12 years old, and even before that I was a storyteller, and then later I translated it into writing. And, as a kid, there were times where I struggled with writing, but I think always telling a story was important to me. And I think YouTube is a way of doing that. Even this vlog. This vlog is a form of storytelling because I have a beginning, middle, and end of what I want to say, what I want to accomplish in this vlog. And I don't do any cuts. I'm just doing this kind of on the fly, off the top of my head, trying to organize my thoughts as they rotate without stabbing myself in the eye with my finger. There are YouTubers like Jeremy Johns who do cuts after everything and blah blah blah, and then it's really bam 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 bam, like you get the points really quick across. For me, it would, again, there's a lot of time that's involved with that, and because I have my job and other things going on, it's hard for me to, again, dedicate a lot of time to the YouTube stuff. Mainly when I'm uploading stuff, it's a file that is edited somewhat. Like for the Walking Dead stuff, obviously, I got to edit the file. I got to put in my intro and the little things on the side and cut the clips. That needs editing. But I set aside that time because after I watch The Walking Dead while Chris Hardwick does his Talking Dead crap, then I'm editing and then I upload it to YouTube. But if it's anything else, then it's like I don't have the time that I'm setting aside. So that's why I do this kind of off-the-cuff method. And I guess that explains my method. But to get back to what I was saying about the writing, that's my forte. That's my strength. That's my passion. And I self-published a book in 2011, and I was selling it for a period of time. And I did kind of cross over the YouTube channel with that effort. I was trying to sell this book that I self-published, and it was very novice, amateurish writing. And, fortunately, unfortunately, I had a story I wanted to tell. I was young, and I just kind of threw the book out there. And in a way, it was because I was impatient. I was like, I want people to read my stuff. I'm a writer. I threw the book out there. And, there's nothing wrong with self-publishing. There's a lot of people who take that avenue. I get it. As the years have gone on, I've identified more with a traditional publishing route, which is something I'm trying to do currently, which is, for me, kind of where I see my future going, which I'll talk about later. But right now, I have a young adult science fiction book that I am insanely passionate about. And I think it's something that you guys would love to read. Like, if you're into things that are fantasy, science fiction, that kind of lore, I think you would really enjoy reading this. It's just a story that, for me, I wrote it to help people like myself who struggled in high school, college, growing up, who felt bullied, harassed, isolated. This book is about a kid's journey of rising confidence and finding confidence in a place that you wouldn't, normally find it. And down the road, as we get into 2018, and things are going to get interesting, because I'm quickly looking at avenues to mass distribute this thing on a grand scale. And the marketing and social media approach that I take to it, many of the techniques that I've learned from my job, I will incorporate, and you'll start to see. Now, at that point, it might make sense to open a new YouTube channel, like new Instagram accounts, new social media accounts in general, to promote this thing. Because already, there's way too many videos on this YouTube channel. There's like over 5,000 videos on this YouTube channel. And again, that's mainly because back in 2012, 2013, I was uploading just playthrough parts, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, and it was like 20 minutes each, 30 minutes each, 20 minutes. It was just spammy content. And again, it might have worked for that method of YouTube in the past, but it's just clutter on my channel right now. And I wouldn't want to upload writing stuff that was that intensive on this channel. I could redirect people, fans and viewers of mine, to another channel. I would basically make another YouTube channel, and maybe do some promotion on this YouTube channel. But, you know, you guys know what the main focus and the core message is. You can see it right there. It's right there. Walking Dead. I didn't even take it down. I didn't even take down the sidebar thing where I'd usually do my Walking Dead vlogs. It's still freaking there. So, I guess I'll take a glass of water. Take a sip or whatever. You know, there's a whole bunch of memes about that. So yeah, I'm looking at taking the writing more seriously, because I've taken it seriously in the past, but I don't think I've taken it seriously enough. You know, writing every day, trying to read in my genre every day, and I'm starting to get into those habits now that I'm, you know, kind of out of college. It helps because there was a lot of frivolous work that I was doing for exams and papers, and it was in a way distracting from my private writing ambitions. But now that I just have I have my job, and then I come back and, you know, hang out with some friends. But then, you know, I've really tried to make writing a big focus. I'm 23 years old right now, and I told you I made the channel when I was 15, 16. So I'm still young. I was younger back then, but I'm still young, and I still have a lot of time to excel and kind of make this thing just a great product. So that's my absolute passion and kind of what I want to do. And this is moving forward, you know, as much as this 7-year anniversary is celebrating the 7 years that I've been on my channel, why I made it, what I did, why I did it. I'm looking to the next 7 years, you know, and there may be a point where I just stop uploading stuff on this YouTube channel because life gets just too chaotic and busy. I've been with Machinima for a partnership on this channel since 2012. I renegotiated for 1 or 2 more years, but once that's done, I'm pretty much done with Machinima. You know, they're a shell of their former self, honestly. They were a popular kind of gaming network back in the day, like when Halo 3 came out and a lot of those first-person shooters, Modern Warfare 2. But now they're just non-existent. When the YouTube ad revenue plummeted, they did as well, and having them associated to a channel that's mainly Walking Dead just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if I'll partner with another network or I'll just let the ad revenue go through Google AdSense or whatever the fuck. Like, it's not, again, not insanely important. It's some money every month, but it mainly goes into just buying odds and ends that are just, you know, for the, you know, investments for the channel, new games, equipment, whatever. So, and to that point, I had even made a Patreon page 2 months ago, and it was all based around this YouTube channel and new things I could do for gaming content. And I don't know if I can take the Patreon page down. I don't think, you know, now's not the right time for that. If I was to make a Patreon page again, it would be more focused on my writing. You know, sample chapters that I could tease people, writing podcasts that I could do. But my Patreon that I opened 2 months ago was all about just, I don't know, it was gaming stuff, and I had no ideas. The tier levels and the different things, like, I just, you know, a lot of my friends and even people that didn't like me at the time, there was drama going on with something concerning Darkside Phil, and people were like, you know, why are you opening this Patreon page? Does it make sense? And, you know, it kind of didn't. I didn't really have goals or ideas for it. I just kind of made the page and just made shit up as I went. I had no experience making a page like that, and I was confused about the whole process, and it was a knee-jerk reaction for me because I saw the way ad revenue was being treated on YouTube, and I was like, well, if I'm making way less on something that was giving me a bit more, you know, I could try to make up for it on Patreon and try some new ideas. But I don't think that Patreon page is budged. I don't think one person has donated, which, again, that's completely fine. It doesn't really matter. I think the page was a mistake in the first place. I think I'm probably going to try to take it down, and, you know, I'll reassociate. If I ever make a new one, I'll just make it for a new email or something or whatever. But, That's that's an option. That's an option for the future. Options are there. You have social media and these things to be options. And as I want to take my writing more seriously, those are options that are on the table. But I guess that's kind of where I leave this video, because I will continue to do The Walking Dead. But if for anyone who's been watching The Walking Dead recently, there's a lot of drama with the ratings not being as high as they used to be. There was a very controversial death at the mid-season finale of season 8. And there's a lot of questions about, Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus' contracts end next summer. So there's a lot of and also the Walking Dead has not been renewed for a season 9 as of when I'm making this video. So there's a lot of big questions kind of looming on the horizon. Robert Kirkman is ready to jump into a whole new community and arc and volume 30 of The Walking Dead, with these guys that have fucking like power armor on from Fallout, which is a bold, new, and completely different direction for The Walking Dead. But at the same time, that's like 3 or 4 more seasons of the show. If the rest of season 8 is going to finish the all-out war arc and the defeat of Negan, for me, I'm nervous about where the show goes from here. I'm always going to be interested, because I always think they have new creative ideas that turn out interesting if people were just patient. But I know not everyone is patient, and I don't know if the views keep going down for the show, at what point interest is going to go. I already see, if you compare the views that I used to get on my reaction videos to season 6 to season 8, it's night and day. It's completely different. Season 6 had like 40,000, 50,000 people per video. Season 8, it's like maybe 10,000 per video. The mid-season finale, that was 39. The premiere, 40. Obviously for premieres and finales, you're going to have more. But the videos in between, it's it's a toss-up. It really is. And so that's why I'm uncertain, because if the crux of this channel is on the longevity of The Walking Dead, if The Walking Dead starts to take a turn for the worse, a lot of what the content on this channel is going to just be completely gone. And so that might be, if that coincides with when I start taking my writing more seriously as a part-time series profession, then that would change the nature of the channel dramatically. Even so, when new games come out, think of how many games that have come out that I just haven't covered. There's been so many. There was the new Wolfenstein I saw my friend playing, Battlefront 2. I did take some footage of the Call of Duty World War II, which sucked ass. I did take a few videos of Assassin's Creed Origins, and I even uploaded a review video for Assassin's Creed Origins, which got a whole bunch of dislikes. Not sure why, but again, that might be a sign of what my fans want. They're like, I don't care about a review of this video game. Maybe I just want The Walking Dead. And then I put up a Walking Dead video, and it's like 20 thumbs up and 0 dislikes. So it seems like I know where my market is and what you guys want now. And so much of what I'm saying about my video gaming past is irrelevant to you. You're like, at what point was he playing video games? I see him put up video game stuff every now and then, but he was doing playthroughs hardcore at one point. That's just unfathomable to think about. So now that I'll close out the video. I don't want it to go too long, but I guess a thanks is in order. Thank you, all you guys, for just any fan. If you're a long-time viewer of mine, if you're just a short-term, if you came on The Walking Dead, whenever you did, just know that I appreciate every single comment, and just point of feedback that you guys have given me. It's been a great joy of mine to run this YouTube channel, do it with my friends, and just when there are points of stress in my life, or just things going on, or just I come on here every now and then. I try to make the channel a place, and that's what it was from the start. It was always a place where I could feel comfortable and feel safe. I was in my safe zone, and people could come and just jump on and say, hey, I feel the same way. Something's happened to me, just like that. And we all feel like this is a community. People all of you watching this video, I don't know who you are, where you come from, where you live, or any of that, but at the same time, you're watching this, possibly saying and taking away from it something that you can relate to, and that's just incredible. And that's what social media and the internet has revolutionized over these past 15, 20 years. And that sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. Social media has been the span of my life pretty much from middle school to the present, and it's only going to get crazier and bigger as voice commands and Ubers and just it's where we can only go up from here. Things will continue to change, but we have to adapt with them. Okay, that's the big piece here. Adapting, and like I said earlier, not drawing your happiness from sources. Not putting. That's the cliche saying, putting all your eggs in one basket. There's some semblance of truth to that. And I did it often with friends, girlfriends, just different things. I would come on here and yell about it, or just be caught up in it. And perhaps maybe the reason why I haven't uploaded as much, or just haven't had those types of conversations, is because I'm becoming more comfortable with who I am and the kind of the life I'm leading right now. And I will still do YouTube, but again, the uncertain nature of The Walking Dead and the direction where my writing is going makes me kind of just reconsider where the channel goes from here, as my life is just changing a lot, and I want to make sure that I'm here. I don't know if consistently is the right word. Periodically, I guess, because that I'm active when The Walking Dead is on every Sunday, and so when I'm here. When I'm here. So just again, thank you for everything. I'm Chris, by the way. That's my name, first name. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. I obviously appreciated Darkside Phil, even though I know a lot of people hate him on the internet. I appreciate him because he was part of the reason I started my YouTube channel. He was someone who I saw going through similar stuff, but just a little older. And I copied his style for video games, but then I found my own style. But he was still a crux in those younger years when I was in high school, and I still can't forget that history. No matter how many people message me wanting me to hate him and all this crap, I still have an immense amount of respect for the guy, and I'm not involved with his content anymore. When he asked me to do the Call of Duty World War II zombie thing, I did it as a favor. And based on the negative response I got because of some drama, I was like, well, that's kind of it, man. Like, I can't risk these kind of things of these people attacking my channel because of squabbles over a video game on the internet. It's just not worth it. So I most likely, if I'm saying that the Walking Dead vlogs will eventually go away depending on the nature of The Walking Dead, that'll also be true for video gaming stuff and also for Phil stuff. I don't probably think I'll do co-op with him unless it's the new Black Ops Zombie stuff for Treyarch next year. If I have a group of friends for that, that could change. But it's always a wait and see thing. So much of what I do nowadays is just a day-by-day basis, if I'm feeling it or not. So I guess that's my conclusive drink of water, because I have talked a lot and my voice is shot. So thank you guys. It's funny, I said in the beginning of this video that there would be some crazy intro, but I think I'm just going to upload this video. I'm just going to upload this video raw and just put it out there. And just no edits, just no nothing. This is this is how I've done everything. I used to have a series called Gaming Updates where it was on Sundays and I would review the week ahead. And I didn't edit those. I just started the camera, talked, and then just ended the camera. And that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to simply go on my computer, go to YouTube, and upload the file that this video is being saved to. On my computer, I'm using XSplit now. I used to use my camera to film my TV screen, But that camera is so old and obsolete. I mean, the video footage that I can take from my freaking cell phone is better than that now. So it's, you know, it's an old fossil, as is a lot of the things that, you know, I guess I do these days. So, and I guess my YouTube channel is an old fossil, 7 years, you know. So thank you guys. I'll try to make some Walking Dead vlogs as the new year ramps up. I am super, super pumped about 2018. Just a lot of things for me personally, and then just on the interwebs with my writing and everything that are coming up. And I will share them with you as we move forward. Things will change, but, you know, you guys can say that you were there for the very first steps. And this video celebrates all of the steps each and every year. So, if all of those videos somehow get deleted, or I have to delete them, or they would get deleted, you know, this video right here, this will be one video that's kept. So, anyway, thanks. Peace out, guys.